I'm the gatekeeper of the group, I guess. How long did I go? She said. We're supposed to be at 7 minutes, but...
That's not true.
Oh, okay. So a couple of things I do want to mention, especially that Danielle was the first one up today. Today is International Women's Day, and I want to recognize that today, and for all the great work that we do together, men and women. And I just wanted to make sure I did that. I always mention Sam Brentano, but today I'm not going to mention him because he's not here today. So he always likes it when I do, but I'm not going to mention his name today. So if any of you see him or talk to him, tell him I did not mention him in my speech today. And then the other thing before I get started here is I want you to look at really close at this cover of these bales. It's not MJ, it's not Mary Jane, it's MC, and those are bales of trash, right? Somebody already asked me, one of these smart Alex over here, so are those bales of meth? I said, no, it's trash. So I want to make sure that I'm using this stage today to set the record straight, that even as this is my 9th State of the County conversation, I'm not too old for this job. As proof, I worked out this morning, and I think I got more MEPs than Alex Roten, who shows up at he's gone, is he? He left. See, he's so weak anyways. He works out at 7. Sometimes we meet each other, and we're called the junior hires because we goof off so much. But as long as I'm healthy, and as long as I can keep up with my grandsons that are 7, 6, and 4 years old today, I'm going to continue to serve in this position. So today I'm formally announcing that I'm not running for Secretary of State, I'm not running for governor, and I will continue to serve as your Marion County Commissioner as long as I can to help fight this fight that we need to fight of things that are going in the wrong direction in this state. And you'll hear a little bit more about that as I go forward. As a former business person in the restaurant industry, I understand revenue and expenses pretty well, small margins. And how do you generate more revenue in a restaurant business? Well, you just raise the menu price. Well, you can only do that for so long before you have to give additional value and additional service and make sure that you're competing with the other people that are in that industry. Many people in government think that's what you do in government is just raise your prices, just raise your taxes. Not here. Our revenue comes from your success. You investing in property, equipment, and growing your business in Marion County, that's the way we generate revenue for all of us to make this place a great place to do business and live. That's what SEDCOR does to help us do that, to help you do that. Invest in our community to generate revenue for all. Let me share one of the excellent accomplishments, one of our departments. I'm just going to pick up one department in Marion County in 2022 and some of the great work they did, and it's just a snippet of what happened in our Public Works Department. Now, we have a lot of other departments that we could all name and all the things they do, but I think a lot of people in here could relate to this because it's outward facing and you deal with it often as a citizen or as a builder or somebody who's investing in our community. The building and planning did 1,000 new dwellings, 200 commercial buildings, 800 septic permits, an overall value of over $200 million in added value to Marion County. Roads, 5,139 tons of asphalt were put on roads, 23,146 tons of aggregate spread on gravel roads. And thank you that we have somebody here that has a great pit that we get some of that gravel from. Andrew, thank you. 3,000 calls for service, 63 tons of litter removed from our highways and our places where we all see it every day. And then 560,000 hours of labor for snow and ice in 2022. I think it's going to be a little more than that in 23 from what we've been experiencing lately. 300,000 tons of waste. Think about that, 300,000 tons of waste. Divide that by 340,000 citizens in Marion County. It's a lot of waste you're putting out, that I'm putting out. 48 capital projects of over $125 million in our Public Works Department. Ferries that ferried 8,400 passengers. And check this out, 181,381 vehicles crossing the Willamette River last year. That's a lot of vehicles. Parks, we replanted over 40,000 seedlings as a result of the wildfires. And for those of you that go to our transfer station with your garbage, Commissioner Willis, scale attendance facilitated over 254,000 transactions at our scales in Marion County. This is only an example of some things that one department accomplished in 2022. Well, let's look at some of the long-term projects that our teams are working on. Going forward, Detroit Lake Marinas, and I went back and said, what did I say in 2018, 2019? Wow, we've been working on that project for a long time. We just had a presentation this week. Our staff gave us a presentation. It looks like permits pending. In 2026, you'll see the 2 marinas at Detroit Lake excavated to help with, oh, I see some, yes. Well, thank you to the senator, too, for helping us get the funding. We just got to get through the permit process. The Aurora Interchange, one of the most dangerous interchanges between here and San Diego, and you all go up to Portland and it backs up or you come back. It started, it is, you notice the difference already. That's going to be completed. Brooks Hotmere, right here, Brooks, right north of Kaiser. We've been working on that for sewer, water, and making those industrial lands productive so that we can expand and invest in Marion County. Mill City Gates Sewer System, Detroit and Idana Sewer System. I think the Mill City Gates Sewer System will probably see some stuff going in the ground by 2026. Idana, Detroit, I'm not sure I'll be alive when the first toilet flushes. On a sewer. I was just there Monday night. It worked fine in my septic. A new radio system. Our public safety individuals and all the service districts that rely on radio systems throughout Marion County and the city of Salem, we're investing in that. Broadband expansion in rural areas. We've already made some progress, but our continued progress to see if we can get it out to our rural agricultural industry that really needs the broadband. And then remaining, why we do all these things, remaining strong on public safety, working with our partners in the city of Salem and all the things that we do to reduce crime, holding offenders accountable, and supporting wraparound services for those who truly want to change. These are only a few of the long-term priorities and projects that we are focused on. And we have a great team in Marion County in all our departments, and I want to acknowledge the 1,700 employees that make it all happen. Thank you. There's always a but. We have a challenge, and the biggest challenge that I see is that damn building that I can see from my office, the Capitol. Don't get me wrong. As I say to my duck friends, there are good people in bad places. After all, I was in that building for 9.5 years, so I have to be careful. The state hospital, the Mosman order, releasing people who are not well and that are very dangerous out of the state hospital. It's a challenge for us. Justice reinvestment. 2013, House Bill 3194, we passed justice reinvestment in the state of Oregon. There is a lack of institutional memory why we did that. Chris, you can relate. We've served together on this a lot. Undersheriff, Kevin, you know about this. We have to go over there and remind people that if you want us to divert from prisons, you've got to invest in justice reinvestment. 2.5 years ago, Commissioner Bethel already mentioned this, we just now are receiving $12 million from the Oregon Housing Authority for wildfire recovery. 2.5 years. And here's the one. I just testified on this yesterday, but Senator Deb Patterson's bill, Senate Bill 488, to put a wrench in our environmental services program by making our waste-to-energy facility go away. Even when overwhelming support from people in Marion County to support generating electricity out of our waste system versus putting it in a landfill. Her testimony about the bill yesterday, I couldn't believe this. Quote, out of 100 people in her church she pastored over 10 years, 30 died of cancer. How could you not support her bill with these facts? I do have sympathy for people who die of cancer. My mom, my fiance's dad, 2 of my grandparents, and many other people that I've known and you've known. But you don't do that because of a waste-to-energy facility. You don't blame that cancer on that facility. I'll settle down. I usually don't get like that. But that building is a challenge. The state of the county is not facing, quote, emergencies, unquote. But we are threatened. And like the frog that gets in the pot of water when it's cool and you slowly turn up the temperature and it doesn't jump out and it dies because it boils to death. That's what we're facing. As President Ronald Reagan said, Washington, D.C. is a city surrounded by reality. I say Marion County is a reality surrounding a capital that needs us to help it look outward.